Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a cloning image with a ghost effect. So once you're in Photoshop, let's go ahead and open up our images, and we're going to do that by going up to File, down to Scripts, and then over to Load Files into Stack. That way we can add multiple images into the same document. From here, go ahead and hit Browse and grab all the images you need from your device. I'm going to be using 3. But however many you need or however many you've taken, go ahead and select all of them. Even if you think you might not be using all of them, you'll have them available to you in the document, and then you can choose the ones that are working the best for you. But I'm going to go ahead and grab the 3 that I have here just for the sake of the video to make it a little bit faster. I'm going to go ahead and press OK, and I should see my images loaded here. And then I want to make sure that I check the box here where it says Attempt to automatically align source images. Once that's selected, if my camera or tripod moved a little bit, Photoshop can help fix that for me. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK. And it's going to take a minute for Photoshop to align the images, load them into a stack. So it might flash a little bit, and just be a little patient. All right, but once your layers panel is open and it's done flashing, you should see all of your layers there. Remember that what I'm seeing right now is the topmost layer in my layers panel. And if I hide that layer, you'll see the next one underneath it, and the one that should be at the very bottom is the background layer. You might notice that you have a little bit of a transparent edge, and all that means is that your camera or tripod moved a little bit, and when Photoshop aligned your layers and fixed it, it left us with a weird edge. So we're going to crop that out a little bit later. For now, I'm going to turn these layers back on. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the idea here to make the ghost effect and to do cloning is that we start with a selection of our subject and add a layer mask. So I want to select this version of me, and I'm going to use the select subject option here and have Photoshop go ahead and start my selection, or you can use the selection tools yourself. Let's go ahead and see how Photoshop does for us. Okay, Photoshop did a really good job. If it missed any part of your subject or added in too much, you can always go up to any of your selection tools and add or subtract. Also consider, I don't have it happening in my image here, but if I have a really prominent shadow, I would consider adding that to your selection, especially if you did this in the sunlight and there is a very clear shadow. Add that to your selection, right? Go to a selection tool, make sure that you're on add in your options, and add that to your selection before creating a layer mask. Now I don't have a very prominent shadow, so I'm going to go ahead and just add a layer mask, and what should happen is that the background on that top layer has now been hidden, and now I can see the layer that's underneath it. And so here's my other clone. And I'm going to go ahead and do that same process. And just to make this easier for Photoshop and me to see what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and make that top layer visible, just focusing on my second layer. So make sure that layer is selected, and we can go ahead and repeat this process. Selection, check to make sure that you have a good selection, add back in your shadow if you have a prominent shadow, and then add a layer mask. Now you'll notice nothing really looks that different here. If I go ahead and turn my layers back on though, I now see both of my clones. The only image that we don't need to edit is that background layer. Because there's no subject on it, we want to make sure that we keep it exactly how it is. If you have more clones than this, you're going to go ahead and keep repeating that process. So I did it twice to my 2 cloning images, but if I had more clones, I would just go ahead and go to the next layer, make sure that I'm on the right layer, select my subject, and add a layer mask. And you can go ahead and keep repeating that process. If you have a lot of images in your layers, you don't have to use every single cloning image. See which one works the best. If there's clones that overlap other ones or are not in a great spot, you can just make that layer invisible and move on to the next one. Okay, now that I've got at least 2 clones though, I'm going to show you now how we can start to do some ghost effects. Okay, so I'm going to do what I did earlier, and I'm just going to make one of these clones invisible for now so we can focus on just one and see what happens here. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. And the easiest way to make a ghost effect is just by changing the transparency of the layer. So in your layers panel, you're going to see a spot that says opacity, and it's at 100%. But if I go ahead and change that at all, you're going to notice that this layer becomes more and more transparent. And you can adjust this however you like. Obviously, just make sure it's not at 0. We want to still be able to see our ghosts, but it is totally up to you how much of your ghost you want to see. And keep in mind, this is something that you can change at any point. If you realize later that it's too transparent or not transparent enough, you can come back to this slider. For now, I'm going to go with somewhere around 50% and see how I like it. And just like that, that actually looks really great. But what else could we do? Well, another option is we can go ahead and make duplicates of this layer and create kind of a trailing effect or a double exposure effect. So to do that, there's a couple ways to duplicate your layer. You could right click on it, duplicate it that way. But I'm going to actually drag it down to the new layer icon at the bottom of my layers panel. And once I let go, it's just what I think is an easier way to make a duplicate. So now I've got a duplicate there with the same exact opacity. I'm going to grab my move tool and just move it over slightly. Now we don't want to move it up and down because when something is more up in the image, technically it would be farther away and the size would change. But things that are farther away are going to appear smaller, and we're not going to get into that. So instead, we just want to move it a little bit left or right. And I'm actually going to hold down Shift before I start dragging it, and that's going to keep me from moving it up and down. I can't even if I'm trying with my mouse, it's not going to let me, which is kind of nice. And I'm just going to like move it just a little bit. I wouldn't, actually it's kind of up to you. Far away looks kind of cool too, but I'm just going to do like a little bit off and maybe like even another time. You can do this as many times as you want. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that layer and also hold down Shift and kind of move it over. And another thing that you could do is, I think that actually looks awesome, but maybe the one that's on the top, maybe that one is less transparent, or maybe even fully solid. You could have a fully solid with kind of the transparent ones behind it, or maybe the top one's just not as transparent. So feel free to mess with the opacity and the transparency here of the different layers to see what kind of effect you like. You could also start to adjust the layer mask here too. So what I mean by that is if you don't like if you like the repetition of the body, but maybe you don't want the face to be repeated, you could start to adjust the layer mask at any point. So if you wanted to grab like your brush tool and let's see, black, I'm on my second layer here. So what I could do is I could like, I don't know, erase the face. So there's just a lot of options. Like you can adjust your mask, and like I can go to the next layer and do kind of the same thing. So maybe I just want one face, but the bodies are going to repeat a little bit. There's just so many different options you can hear to create the ghost effect. I'm going to go ahead and bring the faces back though. I think that looks kind of cool. Okay, now I'm going to turn on my other clone layer. Now, if you're just making the ghost final image, something like this is going to work great. And I'm going to go over how to do some adjustment layers here to adjust color and exposure here in a moment, but this is a great ghostly effect. You can also do a couple like effects in addition to this, like the effects here at the bottom of your layers panel. There's literally a button that says FX, and there's a lot of different effects you could try, but a really good one for this assignment might be an outer glow, which is going to give you some sort of effect like this. Now this box that pops up has a lot of information on it, but the important sliders and boxes to know is like opacity. So if you want more of an intense glow, you can make that opacity higher. You can change the color of the glow by clicking on the little color box here and make that glow whatever color you want. You can even pull from colors in your photograph, although I think white looks kind of cool. And then the spread and size is like how much of the glow you get. The size will obviously change the size, but the spread will either make it more intense on the edges, or if you lower that, it gives you a much softer feel. And this is kind of a cool effect, especially if it's hard to see your ghost. Having them glow a little bit could make them easier to see. I'm going to go ahead and keep that for now, press OK. But what's cool about an effect is notice they've been added to your layer. You could always turn off the visibility to get rid of it, or you can actually go back in and double click on it and you can adjust it at any time. You can even click on it and delete it if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my second clone. So when you're working on the cloning part of your image, I would just move on to my next clone and do maybe some similar effects here. Now there's a little bit of a weird overlap. I was just a little bit too close when taking these pictures. So I'm going to take this clone, I'm going to hold down Shift and just the slightest bit move myself back. And because I'm standing in the grass, I think that still looks okay. All right, now you can choose to do a couple things here. Maybe we keep this clone solid, or maybe we go ahead and change the transparency. Maybe we do the same effects that we did on the first one. You have so many options here, especially with your cloning image, of how you want the ghost to look. Do you want some solid ones, transparent ones? Do you want them all to glow? Do you want some of them to glow? Cool thing about Photoshop is if you like these effects, you could always right click on the effect and copy the layer style. And if you wanted it to be applied to another layer, instead of having to go back and do the same exact settings, we could right click on that layer and paste the layer style. And it's going to do that same effect on the ghosts. All right, from here, I just want to show you a couple other adjustment layers that you could do to affect the color. Now, I didn't have this problem too much of my layers changing exposure while taking my images, but if you're finding that one of your layers is darker than your other layers, find the layer that you want to change, go to your adjustments, and you can try either your brightness, contrast, or your exposure. And when you go ahead and click on one of those adjustment layers, now keep in mind where I've placed it, it's going to affect everything underneath it. But we can adjust that by clicking on what's called your clipping mask, and that will make it to where it's only affecting the layer right underneath it. So if this layer was maybe too dark before, you can go ahead and brighten it up and match it to the rest of the layer so it looks like it all belongs together. You can do the same thing with your color. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I didn't need it. But let's say that I wanted some of this image to be black and white. I can go ahead and add an adjustment, create a black and white adjustment. And right now, the way I placed it, it's going to affect the whole document. And you can actually adjust which parts of the image are darker and brighter. So feel free to like move these around to your liking. I would adjust them in a way that like it makes your ghosts easier to see. Okay, I liked making some of the values a little bit darker there. Now, if I don't want that to affect everything, again, we can use clipping masks. If I apply a clipping mask right now, it's only affecting this very most top layer. Okay, so if I don't like that and I just want to maybe make the background black and white, I'm going to drag this down above my background layer. Notice my clones stay colored, and now my background layer is what is being affected by the adjustment. And you can also do the opposite. So if I wanted just my clones to be black and white, I could make one of these and do a clipping mask for each clone, but that's kind of a lot of work. So I would actually take all of my clones. I'm going to go ahead and select each of the clone layers. I'm going to add them to a group. Notice this little folder here. And now if I go back to this adjustment layer, I can make a clipping mask just for that group. And so now all my clones are being affected by the adjustment layer, and then my background is not. I actually really liked the version where just the background is black and white. So I think that looks pretty great. This would work for my for a ghost effect, for a cloning effect. And so my last step here in Photoshop would just be to crop. And you can actually do this step in Lightroom as well. It works the same way. We just want to make sure that in the options bar that we still have our 2:3 ratio selected. And then I'm just going to bring in the corners a little bit to get rid of that transparent edge. And you can crop as much as you like. You can even use this little arrow to switch between a horizontal and a vertical cropping if that's something that you wanted to do. I'm going to go ahead and hit done once I like it. And now we're going to save. So saving as a Photoshop file is really important, so I can go back and edit later if I need to. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save as. We're going to go up to our OneDrive into our folder here. And I'm going to go ahead and name this with my name and the project name. Okay, and I've made multiple versions of this, so I'm going to go ahead and just put video example, but you're not going to do that. Okay, go ahead and press save. Now we've got a Photoshop file saved. I'm going to go ahead and export it as a JPEG once it's done saving. Okay, file, export. Click export as JPG, and we're just exporting to the same spot. You'll just notice that it's now a JPG instead of a Photoshop file. Okay, now once it's exported as a JPG, I'm actually going to head back into Lightroom, and I'm going to add it back into my album. So I'm going to go to Add Photos. We're going to go ahead and browse, and find the same spot I was just saving to. Here we go. I'm making sure that I'm selecting the JPEG instead of the Photoshop file. Let's go ahead and review for import. Okay, and what's cool about putting it back into Lightroom is that we can do an additional edit here. This part is optional, but I can go into either my editing panel or into my presets and see if I can edit it even cooler. I mean, I did some fun stuff in Photoshop, but Lightroom presets are pretty awesome. So you can see if there's anything here that you like, that you think that make the photo better, especially because we're doing a ghost effect. Maybe there's an even better edit that gives you the creepy vibe that you're looking for. Okay, so you can go ahead and scroll through and see if there's any you like. And some of these are very subtle, but you guys can go through and find ones that you're interested in. I actually kind of like this one that made it a little bit more intense.
Please report to the attendance office.